Okay, hello there, I'm Dennis. Welcome to my channel, Life, Home, and My Linux Journeys. In the last couple of videos I've looked at, they were based on Ubuntu, and because of because of me, I didn't really expand or expound much on Ubuntu. I just didn't. So I got to thinking, there is a way that I can install Ubuntu that reminds you a little bit of the Debian installer and the Arch installer. So we're going to look at that. Let's look at their website first. We go to DistroWatch. We've been here before. This Debian is based on Debian from the Isle of Man. If you do search results for Mini ISO, which is what we want, of course, do a search for, I went to the website, the homepage, and then I searched up here, Mini ISO. If you click right here, it's going to open up this link. Then, if you scroll down, or actually if you read through some of this, it'll help you. This is the one I want right here. So I'm going to click on that and it'll immediately try to download the Mini ISO. It's only about 70 megs. Okay, so that's one method of getting to this Mini ISO. Another way, if we do a search for alternative downloads, we'll come across the network installer. And here's where you'll click on that. And you're going to choose your AMD 64 architecture or your 32-bit. It's still supported. And so there's two different ways of getting the ISO ready. Now you put it on a real machine or you can put it in a virtual box, which is what I chose to do this time. And I'm going to install it's called a Mini ISO based on Ubuntu. And it's a lot different than what you would think. Let me bring up my notes real quick before we start the virtual box. So that's the net installer, and we're going to install the XFCE desktop. No surprise there. Here's the link for that download, or here, and I'll make sure these get in the notes below. And then we're going to click on the appropriate ISO, and then we'll boot into it. And here's what we'll do after the fact. So let's get started here. This one I've already installed and done XFCE desktop on it. You know, trying to figure out what would work and what wouldn't work. Here we've got it set up in a virtual box. I gave it 8 gigs of RAM, 4 cores of my processor, turned the video memory off, and I changed the default graphics controller to the VBox SBGA. Doesn't seem to too much, but it does give me another option for 16:9 display. Okay, so first thing we're going to hit on install. See what I mean? You go right into the installer. I'm going to hit enter a lot here. My first thing is my language, English. In the United States, it's picking up the keyboard just fine. So if you need to add a keyboard, you click no, or yes, I'm sorry, click yes here, and you can select a different layout. But it's picking mine up. I'm going to say nope. It's English US. That is correct. Again, machine or matching the layout is English US. And there'll be a stage here where we'll reach a couple spots where it's going to take a little while to do, and I'll pause the video, or I may even bring up the other right here and show you what it might look like for you. Okay, so now it's asking me for a host name for this machine. I'm just going to leave it default Ubuntu. That's what I say. I'm going to hit enter a lot here. Enter in the United States here, or you select your mirror. We're going to get ours from the US archive. We don't require a proxy, but if you do, here's where it would be added. Click continue, press enter. Okay, so this might take a second here. While this is loading, I'm going to bring up my notes. So post install, after we've installed, I'm going to reboot, and it'll boot into a command line interface. Will not be a desktop. First thing I'm going to do is update and as well as upgrade the system and find out if there's anything that needs to be updated. Shouldn't, because it is a network installer. Here's a list of the programs I'm going to install: Xfce4, Xfce4 goodies, Light DM for the display manager, Synaptic for a sort of a graphical interface package manager. Firefox will have a browser. Xfce, so I'll have that program so I can utilize it. Screen fetch, because why not? We're going to need parole because we need a way to play audio or video files. We're going to get a basic install with nothing except for what XFCE brings in. Most everything else you're going to have to install yourself. So HTOP, and then what I covered on the last video with Ubuntu, USB Creator -GTK is available. Let me see where we're at here. Okay, so now it's asking the full name of the user. I'm just going to give it my name, tab over to continue. The same here, continue, enter. Password. Press enter, repeat it. If it don't like your password, it's going to say it don't like it, but you can say use it anyway by highlighting yes and pressing enter. Confirming the network time server. Based on your greatest physical location, your time zone is America, Chicago. Is this correct? If it's not, you can say no and change that, but I'm going to press enter again. So that's like 15 clicks, 15 presses of enter. All right, so we're going to do a manual disk partition. You could use the entire disk and it would set up. It would not give you a swap space. It will give you swap file. And an EFI partition and a root partition is all that'll give you if you use the entire disk there. So I'm going to go down to manual and press enter again. And the disk is 41.3 gigabytes of space. So I'm going to highlight that and press enter. So I want to create a new partition table. The answer is yes. I'm going to go down and highlight the free space there, create a new partition, and the size, we're going to give this 512 capital MB megabytes. Tab to continue, press enter again, put it at the beginning, and we're going to use this as EFI system partition. Press enter again, and we're through with this partition. So we're done setting up that one. Press enter. Go down to the remainder there, press enter, create a new partition. Here, we're going to give this, let's give it 4 gigabytes, just say we did it. Oh, this is the swap space. Continue, beginning. Now highlight use as. Here we're going to go up to swap area, press enter, and we're done with this one. All right, highlight the free space there, create a new partition. Now here you could bust into a different volume or data drive, but I'm going to leave it exactly the remainder here. Say OK, continue, and we're going to use that as mount point as root ext. Now you can change the file system here. You can go up to Btrfs, so you do have options. So I'm going to go back here. We're going to use that as an ext journaling file system. We're done setting up the partition because it's going to be mounted at root. Okay, so at this point we're finished with the partition. We've got 3 partitions, ESP, swap, and a root drive. We're going to finish it. Now you could go back where it says undo changes. You could do that, but we're finished. All right. It's asking me, are we sure we want to write the changes to the disk? We're going to say yes. Tab to yes, press enter. You should see my little network monitor applet down there going crazy, so it's reaching out. This is going to take a minute. So I'm going to pause the video, and I'll be back when this gets closer to being finished. I'm going to change the view here and resize this to 125. See if we can get it all on the screen. That should help it show up some. Okay, it's just about through installing the base system. It's kind of interesting watching the files as they go by, what it's actually doing. So we're at 98%. We're not through yet, but we're almost through with installing the base system. Configuring the APT, the package manager. All right, you can see Taskcell. I'm gonna try to highlight that. You may choose to run Taskcell, and we'll look at that. So I'm gonna pause the video again. Okay, so we jump to our next prompt here. Applying updates on a frequent basis is an important part of keeping your system secure. I love the fact that by default, it's going to select no automatic updates. Personally, that's what I want because I want to update when I want to update. So I'm going to press enter once again here. What is this, 32 times? I guess it needed to know that so it could configure that service. There was Taskcell. This is Taskcell. And you have a lot of options here. You can install the KDE version, Ubuntu, Lubuntu, mail server, a lamp server, print server, Ubuntu Bungee, Mate, Ubuntu Studio, audio and recording editing. Now this thing right here will dump a lot of software. I think I did that on the other system. I'll show you that, as well as the video creation. But let's see, I am going to get stuff here, basic Ubuntu server and the open SSH in case I want to SSH into it or the way around. And I'm going to go for, that's it. All right, now I'm going to tab to continue and say okay. Press enter. Again, you can see my network monitor down in the lower right was going crazy. Now it's through downloading. We're almost there, almost to the reboot. I'm going to pause again, trying to keep the video short. Okay, we're getting really close. It says it's cleaning up. Installing Grub bootloader. You know you're getting close. It's using a EFI shim. Okay, it's asking about my clock. Now, I'm going to hit enter on yes again. And I'm going to say set the clock to UTC time. So, yep. Updating the init RAM file system. Initializing RAM file system. And we're finished. So now we're going to reboot. You don't have a lot of choices here. Just press enter again. And you can see it's still going to maintain the ISO. I'll get rid of it here in a second. I think it's going to realize it needs to boot into the system. And there we go. We're dropped into let me change this back to 100. If this works. Nope. All right, so I'm going to log in. Give it my password. And then we're going to get a bunch of reading and writing information. So now we're going to go sudo apt update and sudo apt upgrade. Ask me for a password. And there we go. Everything is completely up to date. So we'll change this view again since the other option doesn't work. So let me bring up my notes and show you what I'm about to install here. I already went through this, so we just updated and upgraded. So I'm going to go ahead and start this, and I'll be back when I get through typing this. All right, let me check my list here, USB. Okay. So here we are. I got sudo apt install Xfce4, Xfce4 goodies, like DM GTK greeter, like DM GTK greeter settings, Synaptic for the package management, Firefox, so we'll have a browser right away, screen fetch, why not, parole, so we can play music, Xfce, USB creator, GTK, and HTOP. Let's press enter. Press enter once again. Now this will take a minute, but it won't be as long as that initial install. It's already downloading Firefox. It's already unpacking the stuff. So I'll pause the video one more time. Okay, we're like 99% through. There we go. Clear the screen, Control L, bring up my notes here. So let's check the status. Sudo system ctl status lightdm dot service. It's loaded and inactive. So let's enable it. All right, and let's enable it and say -- now, and that should stop us from having to reboot. And I want to take this back to 100% at this time. Give it my password, or I can enter again. I'm going to go up here and show you right now there's only the XFCE session, and it's Ubuntu. So I'm going to log in, use the default config. Let's find the display, find 16:9 right there, say apply. Great. Notice it didn't ask me to keep the configuration or revert back. And there we go. That's our XFCE desktop. Sudo apt update, and then sudo apt upgrade. Give it my password. So clear the screen, htop, see what we got here, 287 megs. See, that's like 4 times lower than what the standard default Ubuntu was or is. We get out of this. So if you want flat packs, one of the things, let me show you this. In Ubuntu, when you run a LSBLK, you're going to be inundated with those loops. And here you don't see none of that. You see exactly what we asked for, and that's all. Let's run an Xfce-SAGM, all caps. Let me change this. So when we run Xfce, we get machine is VirtualBox, of course, the Ubuntu 64-bit kernel with the XFCE desktop. Under graphics, we run in X11, and you notice you don't see WX8 Wayland support. Under audio, you also notice the only thing we have going is ALSA, Advanced Linux Sound Architecture. So with that Xfce, all you're going to get is ALSA. So you're going to need, I think payboot control is installed. Sudo apt search payboot control. Installed automatically, payboot control. So I'm going to go ahead and shut down this, and we'll open up the one that I've already worked on a little bit. You can see how easy that was, and actually how good it works. So this is my XFCE install, and I've already installed all the software, Flatpaks, browser, etc. See how fast that was for VirtualBox? That was pretty fast. All right, so I've already changed out my menu to a whisker menu. Under Internet, we got Firefox right now. Internet, that's what come in. If you go to multimedia, look at all the stuff, and I'll show you how I did this as an experiment to see what it did, and now I know. So if we go to graphics, you can see this is all this stuff here is nice. Most of this I would get it myself anyway, but all of the multimedia stuff I wouldn't have done that. So let me show you how to do that. So I'm gonna go sudo Taskcell. Ask for my password, and here you go. Now if you remember in the install we had the same exact screen. I'll run that again. Couldn't see it. There we go. So here, if you're not happy with the XFCE desktop, you can select another one, and at your login screen, pick that up. So here you can see multimedia. There it shows you all the stuff that it installs, or that's available to install on top of what you got already. Video creation, that was in the graphics as well as multimedia. I did get the font package and the creation editing, 2D, 3D creation and editing suite. So if you just want to load up a whole bunch of stuff, that's how you get back to that to do it. And we also got Synaptic as a package manager. See how quick that was? Synaptic 0.84.3. And that's how I got these wallpapers. Let's just show you real quick. There you go. A bunch of Synaptic package manager. At this point, there's my volume, paybu control. That works just fine. Let's see. I think I just copied one over to the music here. Let's see. Nope. Oh, I saw it. Nope. I thought I did. Okay, let's go find it. User, share, sounds. I thought I got parole in here. Surely I got something that'll play that. I know good and well parole's on my list. Sorry, I thought I had this already done. Volume does work. And this is paybu control. So there we go. I mean, that's what you can do. And let me run htop again. With Ubuntu, you don't have to settle for a bloated system. 303 megabytes. I mean, that's as good as any distribution's going to run, period. All right, so that's going to do it for this video. We got to get out of here. Peace out, guys. Appreciate you watching. If you want to use Ubuntu, I recommend at this point now the Net-installer, the Mini ISO. I'll share those links on how to get that ISO. Give it a try. All right, peace out. Bye.